We're here. You're not. And let's kill the music. And we're all set to go. Welcome, my friends, to another crazy day. End of a week. Oh my God, it's almost the end of the month. Actually, you know what? I think by the time I get done with this month, this week, we actually are. Yeah, no, we got a day or two left to go in January there. Crazy stuff. But man, time moves on, does it not? Even every morning. Trying to focus in on this thing. So, it's mentioned about all that daily improvement, things like that. Trying to live with that. I had mentioned yesterday about this whole idea of Toastmasters, right? Well, why Toastmasters? Why am I still involved? Man, we're talking close to 2 decades. You think I'd figured it out by now? Here's what I did figure out. I have much to learn. Much to learn, much to grow with. It's that journey thing. It's not an end. It's like, oh, I want to be more confident on stage. Well, I was confident. I was not effective, but I was confident. So that's not really it. I want to be more effective on stage. Yeah, okay, that's good. Like to think I am, but I want to be more effective on stage. There's no end in sight there. I am definitely not the greatest speaker in the world. Definitely want to continue to improve and do the thing, including editing and working on things. So I've made a full commitment over here to StreamYard. I will continue to use their program unless I wind up going into a studio. If I start using Donna's studio, Drake Media Network studio, then it changes up a little bit. Then I won't be using StreamYard. It'll be her platform, and then it'll be distributed to a whole nother world, my friends. It's going to be a lot more than local once we start doing something like that. Or maybe there's some other situation that comes up. I don't know. I don't know. But they're more effective, always is. So I definitely want to continue on with Toastmasters and continue to be more effective and continue to improve. And this is where I'm going to ask you. Let me throw the comments up over here. This is what I'm going to ask one of you fine friends. I'll say it. I need a guinea pig. Yes, that's right. So it seems that StreamYard now allows me to record on two different lines. So I would be recorded on one, and you, the guest, would be recorded on another. I think it's just audio. I don't think it's going to be the visual side of it either, but that's easy enough because I could just, flip this around over here if you're giving a response on something. But I'd like to try to see about how that works, continue to improve daily basis, right? And then now be able to do something that I've not done, I've shied away from, and that's called editing. Maybe create some clips. Maybe we could do a little promo interview, a couple of minutes here and there, a few questions, and use that as a basis for what will be discussed when we actually do the interview. Or maybe I'll just record at different times and then just replay. So every interview would be a recording. Now, is that good or bad? I could tell you when I interviewed Jenna Spencer, it's the interview focused on the guest, that kind of thing. And so taking questions, very non really supportive of that idea of taking questions. Occasionally, you guys poking a comment over here, I'll certainly throw it up and do that whole thing. But if I'm actually interviewing something, it's them. It's all about them, their time, it's that focus and everything like that. So taking questions from the outside, don't really know. Don't know if I would do that. Now, if we're playing something, then I listen live, or maybe even the guests listen live, you put up a question as we're playing the recording, you can get a live response during it. So that might be something to consider. But meanwhile, I want to focus on my side of it, not so much as the guest side of it, and see about this editing thing. So if anybody's interested, definitely interested in having you on over here. Valid interview, about what it is. Got to fit the tomato talk thing. Top of mind. Okay, pretty much anything across the board. We could justify that, but the advancing through opportunities, seeing an opportunity. How did you find your opportunity? Is it something you're inherently good at, or is it just you've been thrown into a situation? What'd you do when you got there? How'd you take advantage of it? How did you move, and how did you grow? Maybe it is by delegating. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something that you do and you do alone. Look, if you're a coach, you really can't delegate out coaching, right? If I'm coaching and I ask you to coach for me, you can't really do that. You can't really do that. I actually tried that, but no, because you are you and you have your own opinions and things like that. So your attitude, your flavor is going to be tossed into the equation. I can tell you how tough that is. Firsthand note, with that, I actually was asked by a company, won't mention the company, but it was an HR company that was looking for a local speaker, somebody who could present. And the idea was that I was going to do, and I did it, I was going to give a presentation using their PowerPoint, their slides, and then work my own comments into it, but use their own slides. Okay, can I do that? Yeah. You give me any kind of set of slides or PowerPoint, I could comment on it as we go along. I also saw it in advance, so I knew kind of what I was going to talk about, but it became my presentation, not their presentation. And I felt really awkward about that. I mean, here I am presenting somebody else's material. It didn't feel right for one. It wasn't really exciting for me to do it either. So it really didn't work out. And as it turned out, during the thing afterwards, somebody asked me about the public speaking, and I mentioned Toastmasters, and that was a no-no. I was not allowed to mention anything at all across the board other than my name and that I'm representing this company. So I wasn't asked to come back, but bottom line, it didn't really matter. It didn't matter too much because I was just uncomfortable with the whole thing. So you cannot delegate out somebody else to be uh, your you can't delegate out somebody to be you. Can't do that. If you have a process and they believe in that process and they put their own little touch to it and it's yours, it's great. You could do that, but can't delegate it out. So that's where that goes. Anyhow, so if you're interested in becoming a guest on the show, happy to have you on, and we'd see where we can go when it comes to editing. All right. Now, as I mentioned over here, it is Friday. It's Friday. So I'm going to kind of change things up here a little bit as I go through. I want to get a bit more formal. Again, as they mentioned yesterday in my Toastmaster presentation, when I got the feedback, it's like, Brian, did a good job, got the thing started, asked the question. Wasn't even too sure I was formally starting or not, but all of a sudden everybody was engaged. There you go. But everybody, I'll put this up for everyone. We'll put this on the screen for everybody. Yeah. But uh, got everybody engaged right off the top and stuff like that. It was just flowing right into a conversation. Good. That's the way I do it. A little bit more stylistic at it. But and I'm sure my wife would agree on this one. Is that I should be formatted more. I should have a structure to each and every day, not just start talking and go for 30 minutes about whatever is on the top of my mind, but a clear message, theme, structure to the presentation. So that was mentioned. That was mentioned over there, last night, and they're right. Actually, I prepare very, very little for these, also just the 30 minutes. Why do I like interviewing people? It's easy. You come on, that's it. Boom, we ask questions. I'm asking regular questions here. It's not like I'm asking you super technical questions about processes and things like that. It's just tell me about yourself. Tell me what you do, and we'll relate that to real life. And okay, here we go. 30 minutes, we're done. We're good. Get a chance to promote yourself. I know you want to give out your website, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. But even this current events, I'm off topic already here. So we got to get to that. All right, now, what you are looking at over there is a comment from my wife. Yes, the one that's in the outside room, not in the studio that we're at right now. So she says, I still think, which means she has been mentioning this to me time and time again. Time and time again. I still think you should get political. Ha! She's not kidding. She'd like me to get political over this thing. And do I ever listen? The answer is yes. I do listen. You may not think I listen, but sometimes I do listen. Yes. I even mentioned that last night in the podcast. One of those things. Why you should do a podcast. You learn how to listen. I do listen. The question is, am I giving my presentation or am I giving your presentation? That, my friends, is the question. And then we'll let this one disappear. And then you can go figure out whether that is or is not. But I give me an answer on that one. I certainly want to leave enough time because I got a whole bunch of things I want to talk about, different events that are coming up, and a little bit of a reason why and the whole thing. Why? You want a political response to that thing, or is it a non-political response to that thing? You want a biased opinion on it or non-biased? It can't be non-biased. It just can't be non-biased. It could be non-democratic or non-Republican, but it can't be non-biased because it's my opinion. So there's no way it's a non-biased opinion. Again, you cannot have somebody else be you and the rest of that stuff. So I cannot be my wife. There is no way that is going to happen. None. She's got opinions and so do I. That's good. But here's where I take on this whole world of politics. It's crazy that they can't communicate with each other. That's nuts. It's crazy about the extremists on both sides of the coin. That is nuts. It is crazy to think and to see that these politicians, and I'm going to use the word politicians as I have in the past, different than elected officials, but these politicians are in there playing this political game, playing this whole scenario with it. What about the people? What about the folks? Yeah, the you and me people, right? What about the fact that the economy is not just some big percentage number and stuff like that? What about the opportunities for everybody across the board? How do we really do that? How do we do that? How do we fix different things? And I mean fix different things, not superficially go for the headline fix things, but I mean really fix things. Now, in my world, what I've been kind of talking about more than anything else, is absolutely positively the educational system. Do I think it's a good system? Yeah, okay. Everybody should go to school, right? K through 12, doing that, nursery, then, also, but getting a real education. But what are they really learning? There's a lot of things that these students should be learning that perhaps they're not. That could be improved on. I think these students should be taught one thing that maybe is not being taught, and I am not a teacher, so I don't really know, but I'd like to really ask and really get a question about that. But are they teaching the students to think? Not to learn data and facts and stuff like that, but to think about what it is that they enjoy, what it is that they can do, what it is that they can't do, how to solve problems that they don't have the resources for, how to go figure out where to get those resources. When to start thinking about careers, when to start thinking about how they're going to live the rest of their lives, when to see the opportunities that are there, when to not feel like they don't have opportunities. When is that? Why is it that we're seeing a lot more violence in schools than I can recall ever? Ever when I was in elementary school, what did we worry about? We worried about nuclear explosions. Oh, we leaned against the wall like it was going to save us. It wasn't going to save us. That wasn't going to happen. But there's a lot that could be done, to make that learning environment much, much more dynamic. And I am so, so supportive of that whole thing. I am trying to do and look into different places to make that work. And that includes our elected officials. That's what I'd like to see. And I do believe that career thing, those schools, and as students grow, as they go from K 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I still remember how to count my numbers. And then beyond, they're going into careers, they're earning money, they're paying taxes, they're part of society, they're doing all kinds of great things. They're coming up with not just electric vehicles, but electric vehicles that make a lot more sense, that last a lot longer, that fix a lot of things, that we can figure out how this the structure of everything can really support that whole thing, and figure out what can go wrong and understand that not everything is going to be great at the start. It isn't, but how to work that through. And if the only thing they know how to do is to get an answer on something, not how to figure out an answer on something, oh, that's a mess. So that's my take on the political side of things. And there's a balance, of course, between what's good for the environment, what's good for the people, and all the rest of that stuff. And living here on Long Island, where it's limited space, that's a constant thing. Quality of life, definitely a constant thing. It's like, where's the balance? That becomes a discussion, not a political fight, a discussion. All right, well, anyhow, let's go on with this thing. We're almost like halfway through here and the rest of that stuff. And that's that. I'm surprised she hasn't chimed in again. All right, let's bring our tomato back. Here comes the tomato. We'll keep it big. We'll keep me small. That's fine. And there we go. So there's a bunch of events coming up, and maybe we'll do that. Either Friday, we'll talk about events coming up for the following weeks as that goes through, or maybe Monday, maybe one day we're working a guest over there. We're working through the whole thing. All right, here we go. So it is January 27th. The rest of this month, there's something I want to attend, which has to do with automotive industry and students. But I'll give you a recap on that one as you go through. The Business Solutions Roundtable. Ronnie Rosen at the Small Business Development Center runs this group. And I'll call it a group, not necessarily a networking group, but it's about how can we look to improve different things and make it work, make it kind of work a little bit more so for us, the what's in it for me kind of a thing. So last month's, it was discussed about mentoring and things like that. So I asked Joelle Kronberg, yes, Ronnie, but Joelle Kronberg from CEO Inc. Works is going to be giving a presentation about what they do on these high school career days and how they interact with the student population and how we as business owners, as citizens, could help and get involved with that. So she'll be down there. It's online. If you want to attend, get in touch with me. But it's an online program. I think it's really good, or online meeting, really good. Topics change all the time, and it's really top of mind because that really is truly what people have, what the group's attendees are chatting about. So this one's going to be mentoring. I've asked a few other people to attend also. Don't have a definite on that one, so I don't want to mention names, but let me know. Be great to have you attend that one too. That's Joel Kronberg. She'll be attending the Business Solutions Roundtable, which is through the Small Business Development Center, which, by the way, it's not political, but it is owned by you. That's right. You pay taxes, which goes to the government, which goes to the Small Business Administration, which then filter down to the Small Business Development Center, which is here at the Stony Brook campus, where they're physically located, along other campuses and other locations throughout the country. And it is what you would call a complementary career business center, not career, business center. So they run all kinds of seminars, programs, stuff like that. They have coaches too that are been in the industry that you need assistance with. Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. All right, let's go on to slide number 2. Is this next one fun? Is it business? It is. It's fun. It's health, actually, believe it or not, over here. But Rob, who owns this restaurant, Malden and Minonette, that is in Seacliff, no, I'm sorry, not in Seacliff. It's in Nassau County, Cliffside. It's in Nassau County. So he is going to be demonstrating how to cook with fewer ingredients. Now, this is through the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. This is not a support group meeting, but you do need to contact us if you do want to attend this thing. Again, get in touch with me on that one. But he's got Crohn's himself, and he's a chef, and he's the restaurant owner, so he gets it. He gets it. So he's going to be using certain ingredients over here that are flavorful ingredients. This is not a complicated dish. In other words, it's not 42 ingredients. It's a minimal number of ingredients. And then you will get the list of ingredients in advance. So if you do need to make substitutions for your own dietary issues, you certainly can. I'm super excited about this thing. Very excited about it. One, if you've got a chronic illness, especially one that has to do with your digestive system, eating is challenging at some points. Maybe it's frustrating at other points. Well, if we can make it less frustrating, give you more ideas that you could work into your own dietary issues, dietary constraints, all the better. So this should be a lot of fun. If it goes well, I can imagine it's going to go well. Oh, I got all kinds of other ideas to do, and I've spoken to the folks at the foundation. Matter of fact, one of them just called me while we were on over here. So we'll see if we can further this along. So this is geared toward though those that have got Crohn's and colitis. We're in the support group with it, so just kind of keep that in mind. Um, if you just want to attend cooking classes online, you reach out to Paula Herman, Cooking with the Stars. It's great stuff there too. Absolutely great. So this is big. It's very, very big. Very excited about this. Yeah, it's another project to take on. Hey, why not? What else? Oh, this is fun. February 19th. And this is a nostalgia car club, fabulous 50s and 60s. And this is going to be at the in Patchogue at the VFW Hall, and it is going to be the Daytona 500. So you get a chance to watch the Daytona 500. Also want to mention too, Gary Brown this weekend on Sunday. Oh, there's a couple of things coming up this Sunday. Gary Brown is during one of the championship football games. He's got an event that's coming up. I'll put up the link for it. I should have brought up the photo in here. I didn't. And they're honoring a couple of people at that thing. Rhonda Kulch being one, Heidi Felix is another. The two of them done great stuff going forward. Gary played with the Green Bay Packers, was on the Super Bowl championship team in 1997. Great guy, really great guy. Does a great job mentoring people as well with his efforts and his background there. Just great. I did a high school career day with him. Absolutely phenomenal. And then David Kametsky is giving a presentation in Melville. I think it's a day-long thing. He's not speaking for the day, but that's a day-long thing. We'll throw that up on the site afterwards. But this is February 19th for the Daytona 500. That should be an exciting one. Next up, what about this one? Toastmasters. Yes, we're back again. Toastmasters in person. And this is on the Stony Brook University campus. We will be holding an open house for our club. But if you have any interest in Toastmasters, whether it's joining our club, which meets on Thursday nights, predominantly we've been meeting on Zoom. We'll see where we go on a going forward basis. But there are other clubs in and around the area that do meet in person or have hybrid meetings. But this is an open house. It's at Stony Brook University, totally free for you to attend. Be great to have you down there. Just be great to have you down there. It really would. And some of what Toastmasters is about is it does have something to do with networking, but not much, but it allows you to be a better communicator in your networking efforts. Also, as you get to know the members of this group or any of the groups, any place, especially if it is a group that is constantly trying to become better at something. This one is trying to become better as communicators, be it in person or online. It's good. So this is going to be at Stony Brook. Stony Brook University. It's at the Center for Inclusive Education, which is the old computer science building. February 23rd is a Thursday. That's our normal meeting night. And it is from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., which is slightly different than our normal meeting time. We normally meet from 6 to 7:30. So we just kind of starting a little bit earlier for that meet and greet kind of a thing. We'll have some refreshments, as well. You get a chance to talk to everybody. So that is coming up. That'll be great. I'll be Toastmaster of the evening for that one. Live, no editing. We'll edit on this stuff, but not on that. What do we got? We got something else next? I think we do. Yes, we do. We're shooting out to May now, May 7th. So there's a couple of things coming up prior to this, but this is the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation is holding 2 walks this year, as they have in the past. The first one is in May, the second one is in October. The May 7th walk is in North Babylon. It's at Belmont Lake State Park. Been holding it there now for years. Hopefully the weather's good. If not, doesn't matter. It's a rain or shine event. And my gosh, a couple of years ago, we did it in the pouring rain. It was memorable, absolutely memorable. But a dedicated group. We raised most of the money that was pledged to be raised, and that was great. Most of the people showed up anyhow, even though it was pouring rain. Unbelievable day. So we'll be doing this again. I do expect to be emceeing that one again. And I'm going to be reaching out to you for a couple of things. One, if you want to make a personal private donation, I'll have the site up soon. We'll start working on that one over the weekend for a place for you to donate. And that is greatly appreciated. colitis has hit our family, and as a supporter, co-facilitator for the support group, I could tell you what I've learned is that you know somebody. You just do. That either has Crohn's or colitis, and if it's not that one person, it's in their family. It's widespread enough that it's there. It's just that most of the people, most of the people that have either Crohn's or colitis just don't talk about it. It's that bathroom disease kind of thing. And then also, if you were to look at somebody that's got Crohn's or colitis, you can't really tell. There's nothing outwardly really physical that you're going to see unless you've maybe watched them lose weight or something like that. Then it's like, you know, and it's always why. It's always why. It's like, hey, you lost weight, you look great. Ask the person why they've lost weight. Be cautious on that one, but still, it is a factor on that. So that's going to be May. So the other thing that happens there is the fact that we have a lot of corporate sponsors. Some of the corporations are the larger corporations, the bigger banks, law firms, accounting firms, uh, across the board, number of food companies that are also part of it. Some of the drug manufacturers also, out there supporting it with donations, and they have a table or a booth that is there at the day. Now, the other companies that are participating, there's a lot of local companies, a local real estate company that showed up, and that was one of the sponsors of it last time. They just wanted to be there. They just felt it was important for them to be part of that whole thing. Over the years, and I've shot many, many videos, taken a whole bunch of different photos over the years of different companies that have participated. It's a wide variety. And here's the thing. The event is in May. And now we are now in January. So that gives you plenty of time to decide, but I would decide early, not late. Because we all understand how important that visual, virtual, digital aspect of life really is. So what I would love to see, and I'm more than happy to help promote this whole thing, is that if you do decide that you do want to sponsor on one of these booths or tables, tents, at the walk, happy to chat with you, happy to put your photo up over here, your company description, and let the world know that you're supporting something that's very, very near and dear to me on this one. So that's how I really would like to help out, with the fundraising. Personal donations, great. When anything mentioned, that's all well and good. If you do want to use this as a way of promoting your business, but showing that your business is involved with the community, hey, just let me know. We'll go figure out what works for you, and we'll definitely make it work for you. Plus, I got the microphone that day. And it'll be structured and all the rest of that stuff, but in the advanced kind of a thing. So it's not just a matter of speaking to the people there. It is a matter of speaking to everybody all over the place. If you are somebody who has Crohn's or colitis, there'll be a meeting that'll take place probably in February or March. You'll get the details on that one. You can reach out to me. And of course, the support groups are ongoing. We meet every month, and it's our group meets every month. And then there are other groups too. There's a parent support group, and a couple of others that are at different locations on Long Island. We're an adult support group, but by all means, just let me know. We'll figure out what works best for you. And where'd that come from? A car show. Hey, Kat, this one's for my wife. All right, we're trying to tie in this whole thing about this car thing. Well, this car show is an animal rescue car show. That's right. Animal rescue. They're raising funds to rescue animals. I have no idea what the details of it is, other than it is sponsored by those Mopar people. And I got a feeling I know one guy that's going to show up. And it's not a conflict with the racing. That racing is won't start until August. We'll get that information up there too. But it's May 20th. It's right at exit 51 and 52 in the Welcome Center off the Long Island Expressway. Very easy to get to. Raising money for animal rescue. Some of those groups by our friendly friends that have got all those Mopars, which will be really fun. And I can tell you right now, right off the bat, flat out, those car guys, I'm sorry, those car people, yeah, those car women that are out there, with the ones fixing the cars, the ones driving, racing the cars, the ones designing the cars. Oh, we're over 30 minutes. I'll have to tell you about those people next week. But it's fascinating how many people, different kinds of people are working toward the auto industry. It's amazing. And it's not just getting your hands dirty. Some of it's not at all. It's all computer designs and everything like that. Yeah, it's fascinating. Life can be fascinating. It all depends on who you're with. The right elected officials, yeah, I would say that's a big part of it. Your right friends, yeah, I would say that's a big part of it. The right career that you're in, the right nonprofits that you're involved with, the right networking groups or mastermind groups that you're involved with, yeah, I would say that's a part of it. Trying to improve yourself on a daily basis with one little thing, yeah, I would also say that's a big part of it. What makes the most amount of sense for you? What does not? Well, you know what? There's only one person that can answer that, and that's going to be you. Because just like that event that I spoke at using somebody else's slides, it's still me. No matter what other props you get, it's still yourself. You can answer those questions better than anybody else can. Make sure you're on the right path and spend some time thinking about that. Maybe spending alone time, meditate, walk, hike, run, do whatever. Figure it out for yourself. And when you know that you're on the right path and you attend the right events and you do the right things and you're with the right people, you know what you're going to wind up doing? You're going to definitely speak well. You are definitely going to speak often. And you are emphatically going to live inspired. And people will see that and they will be inspired just as well. Enjoy the weekend.